beer versus wine.
Ah, the classic debate.
Yeah, we were all teasing each other
Yeah.
about which drink is better.
Right.
Just having some fun with it.
Yeah.
But it got me thinking,
Yeah.
like, is one really better than the other?
Hmm.
So if you like these kinds of deep dives with us,
Yes.
make sure to like and subscribe. So,
And tell me more about this debate.
okay, so my one friend was team beer all the way.
Okay, Team Bear.
They were saying beer is just perfect with anything fried.
Like what?
Burgers, fries, chicken wings,
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
The classics.
And honestly, I kind of had to agree with them on that one.
I think a lot of people see beer as more casual.
Right.
Like it's perfect for just hanging out with friends.
And
You don't need any special glasses or anything.
Exactly.
Just good company and good food.
Exactly. And my friend was also saying you can drink more beer
Yeah.
without feeling too full.
That's true.
But then my other friends chimed in and they were like, no, wine is way more fancy.
Fancy. Okay.
Yeah, they were talking about how red wine goes perfectly with a big steak.
Ah, yes, the classic pairing.
Right. Red wine with steak, it just sounds so sophisticated.
Yeah.
And then they were talking about how white wine is perfect with fish or chicken.
Makes sense.
And I was like, okay, I see your point.
Yeah.
But then, get this, my friend on Team Beer said that even beer has different glasses for different types.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Right. It just blew my mind.
Yeah, that's a common misconception that beer is simple.
Totally.
There are actually so many different types of beer,
Really?
each with its own unique flavors and aromas, just
Oh.
like with wine.
I had no idea.
The right glass can actually really enhance those flavors.
That's incredible.
It is.
See, there's always something new to learn.
Always.
I love doing these deep dives with you.
It's all about challenging those assumptions
Yes.
and exploring those different perspectives.
Exactly. And sometimes the most surprising discoveries
Yeah.
come from just everyday conversations with friends.
Totally.
Okay, but remember how I said things got really interesting?
Oh, yeah. What happened?
Well, one of my friends tried to open a bottle of wine with a spoon.
Oh, no. A spoon.
It was a total disaster.
That never ends well.
I know, it was hilarious, but also kind of painful to watch.
Speaking of wine openers, that reminds me of a handy tip.
What's that?
When you find a wine you like at the store,
Yeah,
take a picture of the label.
that's such a good idea.
That way you'll remember it next time you're shopping.
Yeah, because sometimes I'll be at the store and I'm like,
Yeah.
what was that wine I liked?
Right. There are so many to choose from.
Exactly.
It can be overwhelming.
But, it's also part of the fun.
Yeah,
There's
definitely.
a whole world of flavors out there to discover.
Absolutely.
So I'm curious. Are you more of a beer person or a wine person?
I appreciate both for different reasons. Beer is great for casual get-togethers.
Yeah.
While wine feels more special,
Okay.
like for a nice dinner or something.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
It definitely depends on the mood and the occasion.
totally.
Like if I'm at a barbecue with friends,
Yep,
I'm probably reaching for a beer.
makes sense.
But if I'm having a romantic dinner,
Yeah.
I'm definitely going for that glass of wine.
And there's so much variety within both categories, too.
Oh, absolutely.
There are light beers and dark beers.
Yeah.
Hoppy beers and fruity beers.
Exactly. And then with wine, you've got red, white, sparkling.
I know, it's amazing.
It really is.
It's what makes this whole debate so interesting.
It really does.
There's no right or wrong answer.
Exactly.
It's all about finding what you enjoy.
Speaking of finding what you enjoy, remember how we were talking about food pairings?
Yes.
Well, there's one pairing that surprised me.
Oh, what's that? What was the surprising pairing?
Someone brought up red wine with barbecue.
Red wine with barbecue.
I know, right? Interesting.
I never would have thought of that.
Yeah, it sounds a little unexpected at first,
It does.
but it can actually work really well.
Okay, so tell me why.
Well, think about the flavors in barbecue sauce.
Okay.
It's smoky, sweet, and sometimes even a little spicy.
Yeah, that's true.
And those flavors can actually complement some red wines really well.
Oh, okay. I'm starting to see it now.
It's all about balance, you know?
So, what kind of red wine would you pair with barbecue?
Something like a Zinfandel or a Malbec would be a good choice.
A Zinfandel or a Malbec?
Yeah, they have those nice fruity, jammy flavors that can stand up to the boldness of the barbecue.
You're making me want to have a barbecue right now.
Me too.
It's so cool how there's like a whole science to food pairings.
It really is.
And it's not just about wine either.
Right.
We were talking about how different beer glasses can change the taste.
Exactly.
Well, the same goes for food. Yeah, certain beers go better with certain foods.
I never thought about that.
It's definitely a fun thing to explore.
It is. Give me an example.
Okay, so like a hoppy IPA
Yeah.
can cut through the richness of a cheesy pizza,
Interesting.
while a stout can actually complement the sweetness of a chocolate dessert.
You learn something new every day.
That's why we do these deep dives.
No, I love that.
This whole conversation about beer and wine, it
Yeah.
reminds me of something I read recently.
Oh, what was that?
About the history of these drinks.
The history of beer and wine.
Yeah. Did you know that both beer and wine have been around for centuries?
Really?
Way longer than you might think.
Wow. I had no idea.
They were some of the earliest drinks that people figured out how to make.
So how did they discover them?
It all started with fermentation.
Fermentation.
You see, when fruits or grains sit for a while,
Okay.
they sometimes start to change.
Yeah.
This natural process creates alcohol,
Oh, wow.
and that's how we got beer and wine.
So people just kind of stumbled upon it.
Pretty much.
That's amazing.
And over time, people got better and better at making beer and wine.
Yeah.
They figured out how to use different ingredients and different methods
Makes sense.
to create all sorts of different flavors.
So it's not just about having a drink.
No.
It's about the whole history and tradition behind it.
Exactly. Each glass has a story to tell.
That's really cool.
And those stories go back thousands of years.
It's funny how we started with this silly debate,
Right.
and now we're talking about ancient history.
That's the beauty of exploring a topic.
Totally.
You never know where the conversation will lead.
That's true. Speaking of exploring,
Yes.
what about that wine shop you mentioned?
Oh, yeah, the one near the train station.
Yeah,
They let you try the wines before you buy them, right?
they do.
It's like a little adventure.
I love that.
Getting to taste different wines and find new favorites.
It's so much better than just looking at the bottles.
I know, it can be overwhelming with so many choices.
Exactly. But at a wine shop, you can actually talk to the people who work there,
Right.
ask them questions,
Yeah,
and learn more about what you're drinking.
totally.
It makes it more fun and personal.
Definitely. And it reminds me of craft breweries.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them have tasting rooms.
They do?
Where you can try all sorts of different beers.
I love going to brewery tasting rooms.
You too.
You can see how they make the beer,
Yeah.
meet the brewers, and try all these interesting brews.
It's a great way to support local businesses
It is.
and discover new flavors.
You know, we've been talking a lot about the differences between beer and wine,
We have.
but they actually have a lot in common, too.
That's true.
They both have long histories.
Yeah?
They both take skill and craftsmanship,
Right.
and they both have so many different flavors to explore.
I think you've hit the nail on the head.
I think so, too.
It's not really about beer versus wine.
No.
It's about appreciating the unique qualities of each drink.
And finding what you enjoy. At the end of the day, it's about bringing people together,
Yeah.
sharing good times, and maybe having some fun debates along the way.
Well said.
Speaking of fun debates,
Yeah.
remember how I said everyone at my dinner could agree on one thing?
Oh, yeah. What was that? Everyone could agree on one thing. What was that?
You're not going to believe this, but it was fruit beer.
Fruit beer.
Yeah,
That's not what I was expecting.
I know, right?
Fruit.
Even the biggest wine fans were into it. It's like the perfect middle ground
I can see that.
between beer and wine.
Yeah, fruit beer has that sweetness and lightness,
Right.
like some wines,
Exactly.
but it still has that beer base.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that you don't always have to pick a side.
Totally.
You can enjoy both beer and wine and everything in between.
Absolutely. I think that's a great takeaway from our deep dive today.
I agree.
It's not about choosing a winner.
No?
It's about appreciating all the amazing drinks out there
Exactly.
and finding what you like best.
So to all our listeners out there, yes. What do you think? Are you team beer, team wine, or maybe team fruit beer?
And remember, there's no right or wrong answer.
That's the best part.
The most important thing is to have fun, try new things, and enjoy the experience.
Maybe even try a new food pairing.
Ooh, yes.
You might be surprised at what you discover.
Like that red wine with barbecue we talked about.
Yeah, or maybe a hoppy IPA with pizza.
Sounds delicious.
And don't forget to take pictures of your favorite drinks.
Yes, great tip.
So you can remember them later.
It's easy to forget when you have so many choices.
Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into the world of beer and wine.
I had fun.
Me too. We hope you learned something new.
And maybe even got inspired to try something different.
And if you enjoyed our deep dive,
make sure to like and subscribe
for more fascinating explorations into everyday topics.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining the conversation here at Kaz English. We hope you found it fun and informative. Don't forget to check out kazapp.uk. That's kazapp.uk for more tips, resources, and interactive practice. Keep exploring, keep chatting, and we'll catch up with you again soon.